Hey, what's up, Appliance Bootcamp? Mike Sneed coming to you again. I'm back off of vacation, and I'm out here working in the ice cream parlor. I have some customers, a lot of them been coming in, and they want to get what they call vegan, or as they say now, plant-based ice cream. So we've been working on vegan ice cream, plant-based ice cream, and I got 3 flavors that I feel comfortable enough with to actually put out now. So I came out to make those flavors and to actually fill in for one of my workers too. So it was good. I get to meet the customers, and I get to come out here and make a new flavor and give out free samples and stuff. And I saw one person who noticed me from YouTube. He stopped in. He was from New York and passing through, and he asked me, was I on YouTube? And I said yes. He recognized me from YouTube, and he actually started a carrier business from watching JT Hustle. And I had one of the alumni come in and talk. And that's daily. If I step in here, somebody will come through and they'll recognize me from YouTube or one of the alumni. But what I'm here for today, like I said, I saw the video with TMM talking about his what he feel about with Appliance Bootcamp. And like I say, I done a video Thursday, but I wasn't really able to respond because I was on vacation, and I just wanted to kind of let things kind of settle in before I come out and make my response. So this right here is really my response to that. Same as he said, there's nothing personal. I have nothing personal against Brandon. I think he's a wonderful guy, great heart, and I really think he's doing well. He wants to do well for the industry, and I appreciate all that he has done for the industry. A lot of people have came to appliance repair because of him, and I appreciate that, and he has to be commended for that. But for him to say that Appliance Bootcamp is not living up to the standard, and that we don't know what we're doing, I totally disagree with him on that. And the only way that I have to actually say, he say I can't teach the course. The only way I have to actually to put against the course is just put the products that we put out. And I just go to our first course that we done. The first course that we done, we had about maybe 12, 15 students show up. And in a little 2-room shop, not much bigger than a bathroom. And in that 2-room shop, people had to stand on chairs and actually see me actually teach that course. Out of that, we had, hold on one second. I apologize for that. I'm got people calling me, so I'm kind of doing 2 and 3 things at one time. But anyway, that first class, we had people come in to that class, and it was just a 2-day class. In that 2-day class, I had to teach people how to repair washers, dryers, refrigerators, dishwashers. I had to also teach them cell phones. I had to teach them how to register an LLC. I had to teach them how to take advantage of the tax laws. I had to teach them the financial, 5 banking accounts. I had to teach them everything they needed to start their own appliance repair business. Those guys came, and look at all the businesses that came from out of there. Look at all the people who came from out of there who started their businesses all of that just that one weekend. They said that before time I couldn't do it in a weekend. I proved them that I could. We have all those people who came through there and started their business in just one weekend. So in one weekend, I had to teach everything. These people had never seen a washing machine taken apart before, a dryer taken apart before. I had to teach them how to read schematics. I had to teach them everything in just 2 days in a weekend, and I've done it. And I put out business owners like that. Now, from that group, we had several people to go take TMM seal system refrigeration course. Now, with those guys, when they came to see me, in less than 2 weeks, they were up and running. They had their own business making money. A lot of them came back and were going to quit their jobs, and we had to tell them not to quit their job because their business was up and running. When they go see him, they were going there to actually learn refrigeration seal systems. That's the only job they had to teach, was seal systems and refrigeration. Now in 2 days, I had to teach 15 people, 12 to 15 people, how to read schematics, washers, dryers, refrigerators, ranges, dishwashers, and cell phones. I had to teach them the business aspect too, and I had to do all of that in 2 days. TMM took some of those same people. He had four people. He had 4 people that showed up to his class, and half of them were ABC alumni that I had already showed and put in business. They show up to him for him to teach them how to do seal systems and refrigeration. Now he had them for 4 days, I think. 4 days, and not only that, he had 2 people teaching. I'm the only person teaching in my class. He had 2 people teaching. He had 2 instructors, and one instructor I think has been instructing for over 20 some years. So he had that on his side. And when they left, and as far as I know, a year later, they still have not changed their first compressor on their own. After going down there, spending 4 days with them, and having a class a lot smaller, and having 2 instructors, and he wasn't able to get them to the point where they could change the compressor. And that was the last time I actually kept up with anybody who was taking the course, to be honest with you. And after I saw that, I reached out to him and I said, hey man, come up and let's you and I put together a course. I got the facilities, I'll fly you up, you come teach, and we'll put together our own course. He never wanted to work with me. And I reached out to him many a time and said, hey, you and I, we're the 2 leaders in this industry right now. Let's get together and do our own thing. I told him, let's write our own books. Let's do everything and corner the market. He never wanted to do it. But here it is now, 2 years later, he's now saying that what I'm teaching doesn't work. And here it is, the people that are coming to him is actually coming from Appliance Bootcamp. Because he sees some people show up, he thinking that's all of them. And I'm telling him it's not all of them. It's just some people want some extra help. And so they go there to get extra help. I don't have no problem with them going there to get extra help. But at some point in time, you got to get to the point where why they have to keep calling you or calling somebody else for help. When people call me, they might call for the first maybe a month. I get calls sporadic and it slows down. Because what I do, I don't tell them how to fix the problem. I tell them how I think. I tell them how to solve the problem. I tell them how I'll go get the answer. So that way they don't have to keep calling me. I develop people to run their own business. So if you're running your own business, I gotta tell you how to think like I think. I don't give you the answer. If you call me looking for having help, want help for a problem, I'll walk you through the steps of how I go get the answer. So you know how to go get the answer. Kind of like James Brown used to say, we don't want you to give us anything, just open up the door and let me get it for myself. That's what I'm teaching people. I'm teaching them how to go do it for themselves. And so that's why the guys that call me and follow the blueprint, they don't have to go nowhere else. That's why those guys are independent thinkers. They own their own business. They're their own person. They do what they want to do. So yeah, those guys are going to be a little bit arrogant. Yeah, you're not going to be able to tell those guys anything because they don't have to answer to anybody. And that's the same thing I wanted for Mr. Brandon. I wanted Mr. Brandon to have that same thing where he didn't have to answer to anybody. And like I say, I don't know, but I know when he first started out on YouTube, he was doing his thing where he comes out and he does, I guess he would like to have a drink or whatever on YouTube. I don't have a problem with it. It's your YouTube channel. Do whatever you want to do, man. It's yours. That's what you're supposed to do. But as soon as he started teaming up to go do courses and stuff like that, whoever putting the money behind it told him to cut that out. And he had to cut it out. And he can't do it now. I guess now but he had to come and say, hey, he can't do it anymore because whoever the person is that's putting the money behind the course or whatever, told him he couldn't do it anymore. With me, I'm sitting here in my ice cream parlor. I built this ice cream parlor. I paid for it. That's my over there school. I built my school. I paid for my school. Can't nobody tell me what to do. If somebody try to tell me what to do, I turn into a hog pen before I let somebody tell me what to do. It's mine. And I want you to have that same feeling where nobody can tell you what to do. That you're in total control of your life. And that's what I'm doing. Now, if you want to see, I know you said something about some verses and stuff like that. I don't have time to look at that mess. That's another thing too. We don't look at it. The guys from the alumni who's getting it, they ain't got time to be looking at that verses mess. And that's the stuff I'm saying. Where people say you don't have time to talk to people. I don't have time to talk about that mess. I don't look at no rap verses and all that. And if somebody calling me want to talk about current events and stuff, I ain't got time for that. Now, if you call in and want some help with your business or you want to help with an issue you have in the field, I got all day for that. But I ain't got no time to be talking no pop culture stuff. But if you want to put your course up against Appliance Boot Camp, this is what you and I can do. You find somebody to take your course that has never seen Appliance before a day in their life, who has never, don't know how to use a socket, don't know how to use a ratchet. We'll find two people, be it male or female, that has never picked up a ratchet, a socket, a screwdriver a day in their life. Don't know anything about electronics. And we tell both of them, they're gonna go to your class and your instruction down there in Florida, and you keep them as long as you need. You need to keep them for 2 years, keep them down there for 2 years. I'm going to bring them up to my class, and I'm going to bring them along with the regular class to come through. I ain't going to do nothing special. But the only thing we're going to ask both of them to do, ask both of them before they come to our class for them to quit their job. Say, quit your job. You got so much faith in your ability to deliver and give those people what they need. Tell them to quit their job before they show up on your doorstep. And I have them quit their job before they show up on my doorstep. And from there, you give them what your kung fu is, I'll give them my kung fu, and we'll see who's able to go out and earn a living in the next month and be able to pay their bills. I guarantee you I can do it. We had so many people. We didn't have one. I had 10, sometimes a whole class show up at my front door who had quit their jobs before they even got to my class, because they knew because they had seen and heard about what I was delivering, and they got those results. They was able to get out there and earn a living. Now, if you want to do that, we'll do that. And I know you wouldn't do that because you don't have that much, you don't have the ability to speak into somebody's life to get those results. You've never done it. I do it all the time. That's why it doesn't scare me. That's why I can say, quit your job. That's why I can say, FU challenge. And that's why I can say, before 12 challenge. You don't have to worry about the repercussions. That's why I could, if I wanted to, come here, drink, smoke weed, or whatever y'all was doing. I could do that, don't have to worry about nobody, because I know how to go out here and get it for myself. As y'all say, get it out the mud. Y'all talking, I'm living it. I can go out here and get it out the mud, and I can show anybody else how to get it out the mud. That's another thing too. All you do is you show, you can get the newbies. Yeah, that's what I have to do. I have to get the newbies and bring them in and teach them how to start their own business. And that's what I'm doing. Somebody who's established and already running calls and stuff, I can show them too how to run their own business. But most of the time it's the mentality of being self-employed. Like you were trying to explain how to start a business. You just showed how to go register an LLC, register your business. They ain't got nothing to do with how to run a business. And so that's why you think that part is easy, because you never done it. You never been able to come and do something like this. You've never been able to come and actually provide jobs for the youth. You never experienced the feeling of actually giving a young man or young female a job and seeing their whole family show up on their first day of work, and some of the family members crying because this is their first job, and giving them their first paycheck. You never done that before. So no, you don't think that's hard. You never in your life had somebody's whole family depending on you to make the right decision, and for your business to be able to provide, to pay their mortgage, to send their kids to school, and provide for their family. You never had that on you. So yeah, you think that's easy. So that's why that is. But once again, like I say, it's not anything personal, nothing personal at all. It's just me coming out telling you what's the difference between Appliance boot camp and TMM. Same thing. I think it's going on a year now. He's still teaching refrigeration. I don't know, like I said, I know those guys that went out there still ain't changed their first compressor, and he's taught them that. They had a year to go. I haven't heard anybody come out and say they quit their jobs or they made $100,000 off the information that he's given. I haven't seen nobody, I haven't heard of any millionaires coming from out of there. We've had millionaires come out of here. So I haven't heard anything about that. And not only that, not only appliances, we done moved over, and I done showed 3 or 4 other businesses, not just the appliances, but I gave them 3 or 4 other things to do. And you still working on the same thing, refrigeration. Refrigeration. In 1 year, and it was a handful of components inside a refrigerator. How long are you gonna go across and tell somebody how to check a defrost heater? If after 10 minutes they ain't got the capacity to know how to check and tell if a defrost heater is good or bad, what more you could do? There ain't nothing more you could do. If you're gonna spend a whole year every weekend talking about refrigeration and teaching the same refrigeration course, and nobody never comes up and get to a point where they just as good as you are. They've got to still call on the walkie-talkie to get advice every day. None of my subs call me for no advice. If I had subs, and I had a bunch of subs out there. If I had a bunch of subs out there, and every day they had to call me when they got stuck or something, and I didn't teach them how to think on their own and figure it out, I couldn't do any of the other stuff that I'm doing now, because they'd constantly be calling me. No, you got to teach people how to think. You got to teach people how to solve problems. You don't realize that right now, you're dealing with a group of people who came through integrated testing, where they didn't have California achievement tests like when I was growing up, where they actually checked and see how much you learn. Now people are giving them an answer and they don't have to think. The school system don't want to get no bad grades, so they just give them an answer. So what you have to do, you have to teach them how to think again. If you teach them how to think, then they can go figure the problem out for themselves. How is it that you know the answer and they don't know the answer? If you know the answer, show them where you got the answer from, so they don't have to come back to you again. You don't want to keep making people dependent on you. And that's one of the things too I had talked to you about. And I said I like the fact of helping people out with the walkie-talkie app. But if you got all these people coming there, they constantly going to the walkie-talkie app. Who's going to keep managing it? You got to pay somebody to manage it, because people is like water. They're going to take the path of least resistance. If I don't have to think, if all I got to do is get on the walkie-talkie app and ask somebody, hey, I got a problem, what I need to do, you tell them. Next time they get a problem, they're going to call you back up. Instead of you walking them through the process of how you figured out that problem. That's what you have to do. You have to get them off of that. You don't want to create more work for you. Every time you bring somebody in, we got 1,000 people that we brought in here. If I got 1,000 people to come in through here and 1,000 people got to call me every time they run into a problem, what else could I do? I'll be on the phone 24/7, 7 hours a day. No, I got to teach them how to go solve that problem. I don't have to go out here and call nobody when I got a problem. If I run into something I ain't got the service manual, just tell the customer, hey, I need to get the service manual. I got to go over to Appliance and get the service manual. It might take me an hour or 2 to get it. I can come back later today. If not, I have to call you back and schedule a new time. I'm sorry. But with the new electronic appliances we have now, I have to have the service manual or I'll be just guessing. So I need to get the service manual to diagnose the problem. If you didn't get the model and serial number ahead of time to get the service manual, that's all you have to do. Then you get the service manual, you go back and fix it. You don't get on the and say, what do I do, this and that, and you got 20 people telling them, change this, change that, I seen that problem, and you move on. You don't do that. Because he haven't figured out why he need to call, because he or she is not going to call and get the service manual. He or she is not. I have this all the time where people call and I say, you got the service manual? No, why not? You got appliance? No, why not? I ain't got the money to pay for it. Well then, that's part of the blueprint. You gotta have that service. You got to have appliancetology, or it ain't gonna work. So yeah, I get on the horn and say, hey, give me the service manual. If I ain't figured out another way to get service manuals, and you have to go through that. Then people say, well, I ain't got the money. That's the mindset that I have to get people out of. That's the way somebody who's an employee thinks. As an entrepreneur, I know I don't have to pay for the service manuals. I don't have to pay for appliancetology. I don't have to pay for training. I pass that cost off to the customers. So it's no cost to me. If I need to have appliancetology, I put that in my cost of doing business. So I got my business, the customers, when they pay for me to come out and look at that refrigerator, every customer is paying for me to have access to appliancetology. That's the stuff that you have to teach people so they can get out that mindset they don't have enough money. And once again, like I said, I have no problem. If you want to test your skill, you pull one of your subscribers that don't know anything. I'll pull one of my subscribers that don't know anything. And from there, you bring them to your place, tell them to quit their job, and you get them going. And I tell them to quit their job, and they come here, and I get them going. And then we'll see in about, that's an easy, quick way to see in a month. Who knows what they're doing. That's how you can separate it. And I've done it many a times. There won't be no pressure at all on me. So with that, if you want to do that, that's fine. I have no problem. And the people who said, I'm starting to say social justice warriors about coming to the defense of me saying somebody had taken the course and stuff. I've talked to the guy, and we worked out the differences and stuff. And I have no problem with Mr. Gray. Him and I have no problems. I'm totally good. For the people who saying that's in-house stuff and don't be, I shouldn't have came out and said nothing about it and this and that. Well, for the last, I know the last 2 years that I've been on YouTube, I've heard of one of our fellow brethren been accused of doing stuff or taking somebody's course. Where were all the people? Where was people at then to go to his defense? Where were the people at then to stand up for him and say that's in-house stuff? Don't say nothing like that. You need to. Once they buy it, he can do what he want to do with it. I don't know if he's taking it. I don't know. I've talked to him. I talked to him, and I've talked to both people who was involved in it. Both of them are very good guys. I have no problem with them. It didn't bother me. That's between them. But then nobody came out and came to his defense at all. Also, and nobody came to saying that the other person was a bad guy for making the accusation. But when I do it now, everybody got to come out and say I'm a bad guy for doing it. But other people do it, nobody say anything. Matter of fact, I think a lot of people attacked the other guy who they thought I don't know, but they attacked the other guy. But when I do it, now it's a problem. I need to keep my mouth shut. But once again, like I say, if you want to do that, that's all we have to do. And that's the last time I'm going to address this. If you'd like to know how to start your own business, sign up for Appliance Bootcamp. I teach you how to start your own business. Matter of fact, the product that I was putting out there is so good. This is the truth. The product I put out there is so good. We had people showing up at our doorstep. They quit their job. Just as soon as they bought the course, they put their 2-week notice in. And I delivered. We have people, the product I put out there is so good that you get a better return on buying the Appliance Bootcamp and selling it. You get a better return on buying the Appliance Bootcamp and selling it to your friend than I think that you can get by buying somebody else's course. Young man bought my Appliance Bootcamp. I think he might have paid $500 for it. I don't know. $500, he sold it for $600. So you get a better return on your investment by buying my course, listening to what I tell you to do, and then go sell that information to your friends and family. You'll get a better return on my course by doing that than going and buying some of the other people's courses out here who's trying to teach you business and stuff.